The Bible Study Podcast, episode 405. Today, the Bible Study Podcast continues the study of the book of Psalms with Psalm 73. Welcome to the Bible Study Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Christensen. Psalm 73 is the first of the third book of Psalms. Psalm is broken up into a number of books. We could have taken a break here before Psalm 73, but we're going to take a break instead in the midpoint after Psalm 75. And then we're going to go back into the New Testament and we're going to do a gospel. Psalm 73 goes like this. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles, their bodies are healthy and strong, they are free from common human burdens, they are not plagued by human ills. Therefore pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence, from their callous hearts comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limits. They scoff and speak with malice. With arrogance they threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongues take possession of the earth. Therefore their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. They say, how would God know? Does the Most High know anything? That's rather a long section there that I read. So the psalmist here, and this is a psalm of Asaph, is saying that he slipped, or he almost slipped. He nearly lost his foothold because he envied the arrogant. It is easy for us to think the grass is greener. It is easy for us to look at the lives of someone else. In our day and age, we as a society look a lot at celebrities. We look a lot at entertainers, strangely enough, and probably overly value their contribution to society. But I think we also tend to look at each other and think, well, if only I could be like him, because that person has made it. If I had their life, then everything would be okay. I know I've got problems with my marriage, or I've got problems with this, or I've got problems with the finances, or I've got problems with whatever. But if only if. And that only if is a deadly trap, because for one thing, it keeps us from being joyful where we are and appreciating where we are now. It's one of those things that makes me think of the people who say, if only I won the lottery, and yet we see so many lottery winners who end up in debt. And a lot of us can't understand that, but we are convinced that if we did, it wouldn't be us. We're convinced that if we were rich, our problems would go away. I think because we don't understand what the source of our problems are sometimes. And we don't understand how it relates to our faith as well. And that's part of what the psalmist is talking about here. He said, I almost slipped. I nearly lost my foothold because I envied them and I envied their prosperity. But he goes on, after he talks about that they're free from human burdens and are not plagued by human ills, he starts to describe some people that are not worth looking up to. People who are full of pride, who are callous, who are evil, who speak malice, who threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven. And I wonder if this is because they have climbed over so many people to get to where they are. And certainly in the time that the psalmist is writing, you were probably born to power. You probably didn't raise your wealth by yourself, but you got it from your family. And it was the same families and the same people year after year. And we have some of that, but not as much as they did at that time. And how little empathy we see in these people that he, for a moment, started to envy. And the sad thing there is obviously that as he's envying them, he's overlooking all the things that they are missing. And he knows it. As he looks at them and he sees their hearts, they are rich in money, they are full of power, and yet they are lacking in compassion, they are lacking in love. And of all the arrogance, they say, how would God know? Does the Most High know anything? The psalmist continues, this is what the wicked are like. Always free of care, they go on amassing wealth. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure, and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. If I had spoken out like that, I would have betrayed your children. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply till I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their final destiny. Surely you place them on slippery ground, you cast them down to ruin. How suddenly they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. They are like a dream when one awakes. When you arise, Lord, you will despise them as fantasies. So the psalmist first has this thought that he had almost engaged, this thought of that how better it would be to be like them, that they don't have any troubles. And then he realizes, and it troubles him deeply, he realizes that I would have betrayed your children. And he's talking to God. I would have betrayed the people of God if I thought this way. If I thought like that, if I thought the ultimate value in life was to gain all I can and to do all I can to get it, that it wasn't important how I gained those riches. It certainly wasn't important who I hurt in the process. If I thought like that, he said, I would have betrayed your children. I would have betrayed your people. I would have betrayed you, God. Until I understood, and he understands that they've built their house on sand. They're one big financial deal away from disaster. I think of 1929 and the big stock market crash and the number of people who were rich and were trying to get richer and were speculating and were investing with other people's money, were buying on margin and all of the things that led up to the crash. And how many of them took a nosedive out the window because they were one big financial ruin from a life they couldn't bear to live. They couldn't imagine life without all that they had. And that's the kind of thing that he's describing here. The psalmist is describing how suddenly they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. What they're building didn't last. What they're building is not what we should be building. We're called to build relationships. We're called to build communities. We're called to build up the people of God, a people who will be with us when times get difficult, a people who we can be with when their times get difficult. A people we are called to love, a life that is resilient, a life that is strong, because it is connected. How unlike the rich that he sees who have broken all their connections to get more stuff. They've stepped on people on the way up, and the way down will be sudden and dramatic. The psalmist goes on, when my heart was grieved and my spirit embittered, I was senseless and ignorant. I was a brute beast before you, yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Those who are far from you will perish. You destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. As Jesus addressed this topic, he said, where your treasure is, there your heart will lie. And the psalmist realizes that for a moment, his treasure was in his bank account. His treasure was in his 401k. His treasure was in his investments. His treasure was in his real estate. Instead of being in his relationship to God and with the people of God. Where is our treasure this week? What do we hold dear, or who? With that, we're going to end this episode of the Bible Study Podcast. If you have a question, send an email to host@thebiblestudypodcast.com, or better yet, leave a comment on this episode at thebiblestudypodcast.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Pinterest, or Instagram at Chris2X. And as always, thanks so much for listening.
Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. Give thanks in all circumstances. God invites us to cultivate thankful hearts by turning our eyes toward Him in good times and bad. To listen to more Abide Christian meditations, just go to lifeaudio.com or search your favorite podcast app for Abide Christian Meditation. You can also download the Abide app for more biblical meditations at abide.com.